Hi everyone, welcome to a new mathematics session. Today we will discuss where we have left off from our last class, that is squares and square roots. In the first part we discussed how to find the squares of any number and what all patterns can be observed in the collection of square numbers. Now we are going to discuss what we have in our first session. I have already told you that we will be doing the reverse process, and that particular reverse process is going to be done throughout this session. So I hope you will listen very carefully. And in the last session we started our discussion by giving an example of a square. Do you remember how to find the area of a square? How did we find it? Just we multiply the length of one side given to us. Now the very same process I am going to redo the process from the end to the start. That is, if we are given a square and given its area is 144 centimeter square, we know all the sides of the square will be equal, and we already have an equation: area is equal to side times side. And what is the area given to us? It is 144. Now the only probability that this length of the side is that it will be a same number. And can you guess what it is? Since we have learned, and I have recommended you to study or learn the number square of the numbers up to 20, you would have the idea that the square of 12 is 144. Thus we can write it as 12 into 12. What have we done? We have just took the root of the number 24. There is a new term for you: square root. So that is what we are going to discuss in our first session. Square root of a number. Don't get confused. Square of a number, the just opposite of square of a number is called as square root. So we can say square root of 144 is 12, and the symbol that we are going to represent for it is, we are going to keep it in a safe place. That's why we are using a symbol of this format. We call it as radical. For the time being, we can just read it as square root of 144. Square root of 144. The literal meaning is that when we multiply a particular number, we should get 144. When we multiply a particular number with itself, we should get 144, and the only probability that is 12. But there is a small additional information that you should be aware of. That is, obviously 12 square is nothing but 12 times 12, which will give us 144. At the same time, if you find the product of minus 12 and minus 12, you will still get the same number. Why? Because when we multiply two negative numbers, it will turn out to be a positive number. So the root of 144 can be positive 12 or negative 12. But in this chapter, we are not dealing with the negative part of the square root. So all you need to do is that just keep in your mind that root of a number can have two different values. It's not at all complicated. Just watch this once again if you have got any small doubts. Now, as I told you, we are not going to deal with the negative part, since we leave it for the higher classes. In the higher classes, you will see more importance and features about these negative numbers. For the time being, just understand that root of a number, or root of this number 144 is 12. Then, coming back to our session, or we will connect the last session with this one. That is, when we found the square of the number 13, it turned out to be 169. Then what will be square root of 169? It is 13. Now do you understand? Now what will be the root of the number 36? It is 6. Then root of 25 is 5. Root of 16 is 4. Square root of 9 is 3. So this is the basic concept of square root. I hope you understood. This is the primitive part of our session. So just make sure you understood it. Then only you should be proceeding into the next part. So if there is any small doubt still left, please watch it again. So we have discussed that we can find square root of the given number. Now there are mainly two different methods to find the square root of a number. First one is using prime factorization method or simply prime factorizing the given number. Second one is by division method. Let's see one by one. First one, prime factorization method. In our previous classes we have learned how to prime factorize a given number. If we know that prime factorization, then we can easily find the square root of the given number, provided this is a square number. That is, we cannot find the square root of 17. We cannot find square root of 17 using prime factorization method because 17 is not a square number. But we can find the square root of any square number using prime factorization method. Note that we should be aware of what is square number, what is square root, what is prime factorization, and what are prime numbers. If you know all these four things, we can easily find the square root of the given square number. Let's see with example. First of all, say a square number. Let's go for 144. Okay, 144. This is our question. We need to find the value of root of 144. Let's see how this can be done. As the name suggests, prime factorization. We all have been seeing how prime factorization has been working. Which is the least prime number that can be divided using, or it's the least prime number that can be divided with 144. It is 2. Then it will give us 7, 2. Then again with 2, 3, 6. Then again with 2, 1, 8. Again 2 is there. How many times? 9 times. Then we cannot use it do using 2, so we will employ 3. Then another 3. So 3 will be this will be our final answer. So we can write 144 as the product of all these prime numbers. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 times 3 times 3. Now this is the most important part. After writing this as prime factors or the product of prime numbers, take the pairs or make it as pairs, and the pairs should contain only the same number. So this is one pair, another pair, the third pair, and from each pair take one representing each pair. So there is a 2 representing this pair, there is another 2 over here, then another 3 over here. The last and final process, just multiply the 3 numbers into. So what happens? 2 into 2 is 4, 4 into 3 is 12. So root of 144 is 12. It's easy, right? Now let's see another example of this format. Let's see the root of 324. To find 324, what's the first step that we need to do? Just prime factorize it using your working column. Do in the right side, rightmost part of your notebook. Write 324 over here. Then how many times? 2. That is 162. Again using 2, it will give us 81. Then 3 can be used. 27. Then another 3. Then we will give 3, 3 and 3. I hope this process is comfortable for you since it's a basic one. Now, the next step is to write 324 as the product of the prime numbers that we have obtained. 2 times 2, 3, 3, 3 and another 3. So, next step is without any wasting any time, let's make it into pairs. So, we have got 3 pairs. So, one each from the all pairs times 3 times 3. That will give us 2 times 3 is 9. Sorry, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So we can conclude root of 324 is nothing but 18. I hope you understood this one. Now let's go for some bigger number. This will be last problem in this session. Under prime factorization. Let's see the root of 6400. We need to find this value, this particular value. So let's try to do this one using prime factorization. 6400. So this can be written as 3200. Then Again with 2, 1600. We will be able to solve further by 2 itself. 400, then 200, then 100, still again 2, 15, 2, 25, 5 and 5. That will be the end. Now write the number 6400 as pairs. 6400 can be written as 2, 2, 2, 2. So here is 4. Then how many 2's? Let's see how many 2's are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is already 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 4 more to go. 2, then 2, 2 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is an extra one. And who is left? 5 and 5. Now let's make it into pairs. Here is 1, here is 1, 1, 1 and 1. So let's write 1 from each pair. So it is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. What is it? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 60 times 5 is 80. So we have got square of 80 is equal to 6400, or in the reverse way, square root of 6400 is 80. Therefore we can write root of 6400 is equal to 80. I hope you understood this one. Now let's see a question that is probable to ask in this session, from this session. So it is of this way, it will be of this way. You will be given a particular number and you will be asked to check whether it's a square number, or you can call such numbers as perfect square. That is, it should be a square of some natural number. Such numbers are called perfect number or square number. Both are the same. Don't get confused. Now we are asked to check whether 2352 is a square or a perfect square. To check that, we can use prime factorization method. We follow the prime factorization method, and once you get it as perfectly, or if you get pairs of the perfect way, then we can claim it to be a square number. Now let's check whether it is same. So this is the way. 2, 3, 5, 2. We will prime factorize it. So 23 means 11. Then 7, 6. Again we will factorize it using 2 itself, since it is even number at the unit digit. Then 2 in 11 is 5 times, 17 means 8 times, 16 means 8. So again 2, 58 we have 29 times, then in 8 we have 4 times, then 2 we have 14 times, then 7. Now I think it will be better for us if you divide using 3. So how many 3s in 14? 4 times. Then how many? The remainder is 2, so 27 becomes 49. Now there is no other way but to put using 7. So you will get the prime factorization of this way. 2, 3, 5, 2 is nothing but 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That many times 3 and 2 sevens. Can we make it into pairs of our side? No, because obviously we can do up to here, but a 3 is missing. Since we are not able to make it into pairs of the way that we have been doing, this is clearly not a prime number. Then we can say therefore 2, 3, 5, 2 is not a perfect square. Now there is an additional question. If no, find the smallest multiple of 2352 which is a perfect square. That is, had there been another 3, then we could have make it a pair of 3. Right? Yes. So we will consider multiplying this 2352 by another 3. You can write this as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 7 into 7. Now we can easily make this into pairs. So what happens here we will get a 2, then here also we will get a 2, from here a 3, from here a 7. So this can be written as 2 times 2 times 3 times 7. What it is? 7 times 3 is 21. 21 times 2 is 42. 42 times 2 is 84. So we can find that what will be this number? This number is 2352 times 3, that is 3, then 5, 0, then a 7. So we can say 7056. Also root of 7056 is 84. So this is the way to do this problem. There are so many questions in your exercise part. So I would recommend to go through this again once. Then we can go to the questions of this format.